All right, ready for a deep dive into something a little different?
Ooh. Lay it on me.
We're going to be talking about housework.
Housework.
Housework as exercise.
Oh.
Now I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Scrubbing floors. Not exactly a hardcore workout,
Right.
but get this. We came across some research in Cogent Social Sciences, and they had some pretty surprising findings.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's all about Filipino teenagers
Uh-huh.
and what they discovered about housework's impact on fitness.
Okay.
Really changes how you view those chores.
I can imagine.
So today, our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to figure out if
Okay.
and how housework can count as legitimate exercise,
I like it.
especially for people who maybe can't get to a gym
Right.
or traditional workouts.
Makes sense.
What if those everyday tasks could actually contribute to a healthier lifestyle?
You know, it's funny you should mention that because I was just reading about rising obesity rates globally,
Wow.
especially in adolescents.
It's true. With the COVID pandemic
It
and
is.
lockdowns, it really amplified that whole issue.
Yeah. The need for accessible fitness solutions
Huge.
is becoming even more urgent.
And this study points out some alarming stats about the Philippines specifically.
Okay.
Over 30% of their population is kids and teenagers.
Wow.
And a significant portion of them,
Yeah.
they aren't meeting recommended physical activity levels.
Mm.
So that's where this research gets interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
They put together this program
Uh-huh.
where they took everyday chores
Yeah.
and turned them into exercise routines,
Oh, cool.
specifically for overweight and obese Filipino teenagers.
Interesting. So how'd they do it?
Well, they use pre- and post-tests,
That's right.
measuring things like BMI,
Right.
which is a way to measure body fat based on height and weight,
Okay.
cardiovascular endurance, flexibility,
Gotcha.
and strength. Makes sense.
But importantly,
Yeah.
the study was properly reviewed
Duh.
and followed ethical guidelines
Okay.
to make sure the participants were safe.
That's really important.
So, are you ready for the results?
Hit me.
Okay, so after this whole housework program,
Yeah.
the teenagers showed significant improvement
Really?
across all the fitness
Maybe
areas.
Wow, that's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
What were the numbers like?
Well, on average,
Yeah.
male participants saw a BMI reduction
Mm-hmm.
of over 13%,
Wow, that's significant.
and females
Yeah.
had an 8% increase
Oh,
in cardiovascular endurance.
that's impressive.
But here's where it gets really wild.
Okay.
There were some big differences between the sexes.
Really?
Yeah, like men
Yeah.
showed a greater reduction in BMI.
Interesting.
But the women were better cardiovascular endurance and flexibility.
I wonder why that is.
Well, the study suggests that it might be biological factors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So think of it this way.
Yeah.
Imagine your body is like a car.
Okay. I like where this is going.
Men typically have bigger engines.
Uh-huh.
They burn fuel faster,
Even when idling.
even when idling.
Interesting.
So short bursts of activity like housework,
Yeah.
it's like revving the engine,
Okay.
leading to more calories burned
Makes sense.
and maybe even a greater BMI reduction.
So men are like gas guzzlers.
Yeah, kind of burning through energy quickly.
That's a great analogy.
And then women, they're more fuel efficient,
Okay.
better at utilizing stored energy
Is it-
for endurance activities.
Like a hybrid car.
Exactly, going the distance on a single tank.
I love it. But what about the flexibility difference?
Well, women, generally speaking,
Yeah.
have looser ligaments and tendons.
Compared to men.
Exactly, which gives them an advantage, flexibility. It's
Right.
like they have those extra flexible yoga joints.
Interesting. So even mundane things like housework can have a real impact on fitness.
Huge impact.
And the differences between the sexes
Mhm.
just make it even more interesting.
It really does.
But it's not just about biology, is it?
Nope.
This study also looked at the cultural context of these Filipino teenagers.
Absolutely. And cultural values
Yeah.
around family and home life,
Right.
they likely influence attitudes towards housework and exercise.
Interesting.
And in Filipino culture, there's a strong emphasis on family and
Yeah.
responsibility within the household.
That makes sense. It's like how in some cultures,
Yeah,
daily walking is just a part of life,
exactly.
not formal exercise.
Could this study point to a bigger shift
Wow.
in how we see fitness?
Away from the gym-centric model.
Exactly.
It's an interesting thought.
And home-based learning is big in the Philippines.
Right.
So incorporating housework exercise could be really feasible for them.
You've got a point.
So we've got this mix of biology and cultural influences.
Contributing to the success of this program.
It really does challenge the one-size-fits-all approach.
It totally does.
Nah.
We need to think about individual biology, even cultural factors, when making exercise plans.
Absolutely. It makes you think, how much potential are we missing?
I know, right?
By sticking to those rigid fitness norms.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder how we approach fitness around the world.
I know, right?
Thinking about everyday activities and using them to be healthier.
It's especially relevant now with more people living sedentary lifestyles,
Right.
and not everyone has access to gyms or traditional exercise.
This research is really saying
we
can find fitness opportunities anywhere.
Seriously, anywhere.
Even incorporating short, active breaks.
Into our daily routines.
Exactly.
That could make a real difference.
It could.
Like instead of waiting for the elevator,
take the stairs.
while the kettle's boiling.
Do some squats. Oh, I like that.
If you have a desk job, get up and move every 30 minutes.
I try to do that. It's so easy to just sit there all day.
It is, but those little bursts of activity, that can really add up.
And the study brings up another important point.
What's that?
Personalized approaches to fitness.
Well, that's a good one.
Tailoring the intensity and duration
to
each person's capabilities.
Not everyone needs to be pushed to the limit.
No, not at all.
Finding that enjoyable and sustainable level.
That's the key.
They talked about this concept, progressive overload.
Oh, yeah.
Gradually increasing the challenge over time.
So you could start with something easy.
Like dusting.
Right. And then
work up to scrubbing floors.
Or carrying heavy laundry baskets.
That's the idea.
Finding that sweet spot.
Challenging enough, but not risking injury or burnout.
It's a balancing act.
And that's where healthcare professionals can help.
Oh, absolutely. Providing guidance and support.
The researchers worked with the participants, monitoring their progress and making adjustments.
And giving motivation.
That personalized touch.
It's empowering, you know?
Totally. Giving people the tools to make those lifestyle changes.
It brings us back to that cultural context.
They're talking about Filipino teenagers. Who really value family and community.
The researchers think tapping into those values could help promote healthier habits.
Like families exercising together.
Imagine turning those chores into family challenges.
Or even just working together as a team.
It's less about chores.
And more about family well-being.
I love that shift in mindset.
From chore to opportunity.
Seeing those tasks as a chance to move our bodies.
Boost our energy.
Connect with loved ones.
We've been talking about the physical benefits.
Yeah.
But there's the mental and emotional side too.
Oh, for sure. So much research on that.
When you're physically active.
Even just sweeping or folding laundry.
Exactly. Your mind focuses on the present.
It's like active meditation.
That's it. Not caught up in the past or future.
Just paying attention to the task.
Can be so grounding and calming.
Quieting all that mental noise.
Finding peace in everyday tasks.
I love that.
And then there's that feeling of accomplishment.
Even if it's a small task.
Making the bed.
Washing the dishes.
Gives you that little boost.
That sense of control.
Creating order out of chaos.
So therapeutic.
In our crazy busy world.
I feel so much better when my space is tidy.
Me too.
Don't forget about
the creative potential.
Creative potential in housework.
Think about it.
Okay.
When you're cleaning and organizing, you're rearranging things.
Putting your own touch on your space.
Self-expression. It's a chance to let your creativity flow.
Even in how you fold your towels.
Exactly.
Okay, so housework is mindful.
Therapeutic.
Creative.
Good for our bodies.
Who knew?
This deep dive.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our perspective.
Embracing the unexpected.
Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
Exactly. Going beyond those conventional ideas about exercise.
Looking for movement in all parts of our lives.
I love that.
Really is amazing. This research pushing us to find movement and well-being in unexpected places.
For sure. And moving away from those old ideas about exercise, the ones that are so Western-centric.
You know, it makes you think about how other cultures view physical activity.
Absolutely. And how those cultural norms really shape our behavior.
Exactly.
This study mentioned how in Filipino culture, housework is seen as a shared responsibility. The whole family chips in.
Right. And that collective effort, it could be a huge motivator to get moving.
Oh, totally. It's not just about you being fit. It's about working together as a family.
Towards a common goal.
A clean and healthy home.
I like it. It becomes less about checking off chores.
And more about the family's well-being,
Exactly. It's finding those win-win situations.
where taking care of your house means taking care of yourself, too.
Right. Speaking of win-win, we've talked about the physical side of housework exercise.
Yeah,
But what about mental and emotional benefits?
I bet there are some.
Oh, absolutely. When you're doing something physical,
Even just sweeping or folding laundry,
yeah, your mind kind of zones in on that present moment.
almost like a meditation.
That's a great way to put it. You're not stuck in the past or worrying about the future.
Just focusing on the task at hand.
It can be incredibly grounding,
Calming, too.
quieting all those thoughts swirling around in your head
It's true, and that feeling of accomplishment.
after you finish a task.
Even if it's something small,
Crossing it off your to-do list
making the bed, doing the dishes,
gives you a little boost.
that feeling of control.
Creating order from chaos.
So therapeutic, especially these days.
Likely.
I always feel better when my place is tidy.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
And don't forget the creativity.
Wait, creative potential in housework.
Think about it. You're cleaning, organizing, rearranging things.
Making your space your own.
It's a form of self-expression. It's a chance to let your creativity flow.
So housework can be mindful,
Therapeutic.
creative, good for our bodies.
It's all about changing how we see things.
Finding the extraordinary in the everyday. And that is what this show is all about.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you learned something new about housework and exercise.
Remember, movement is medicine.
It's available to all of us, so get out there and conquer those chores,
Have some fun along the way.
and maybe even break a little sweat.